Literary lovers can delve into themes of regret and possibility as the Singapore Writers' Festival returns in November. Festival goers will be treated to over 200 literature, arts and cultural programs across Singapore's 4 national languages. Joining us to share more is Festival Director Pooja Nansi. Pooja, nice to have you with us. Now, the festival is coming back for its 25th edition with a single cryptic word, if, as the theme. What's the thinking behind that?
Hi, thank you for having me today. I think the festival is something that's always responded to its times. Last year our theme was guilty pleasures. We were thinking about all the things we were taking comfort in the pandemic. And I think coming sort of out of a pandemic, I hesitate to say post-pandemic because I don't think we're there yet. But coming out of the pandemic, I think a lot of us are feeling trepidation. We feel sort of fragile. We feel a little bit like a child learning to walk again. And I think many of us feel like this has offered us a second chance, to rethink the way in which we live our lives as individuals, as communities. And also it's given us a chance to reflect on how we've lived our lives thus far, because it was such a, changing moment in history. So I think the little word if is such a powerful one because it's really a word that holds, as you said, both hope and regret. And so I guess we're inviting people to come to the festival for 10 days and have a think by themselves as they experience different writers and thinkers at the festival and with each other and in our conversations to consider where we've been, what's happened, and how we can do things differently moving forward. So that's where the theme came from.
Well, thanks for setting that up for us quite nicely, because one of the draws of the festival, the Writers' Festival, is the aspect of how multilingual it is, the content and the art on show. How do you work with each community to create one cohesive complementary program?
We're very proud of being one of the few multilingual international literary festivals in the world. And I think we celebrate the written and spoken word in Singapore in all of our 4 official languages, as well as other global languages. We've always believed in programming very widely in a diverse and inclusive manner. So we make it a point to celebrate different literary voices across the various language groups. For this edition, we're working with key members in the Chinese, Malay, and Tamil literary scene and literary communities, as well as our language-based advisors to co-curate programs. We really want to hand the festival back to the community and the literary groups working in the community and encourage them to also suggest ideas to us. So it's been a very collaborative approach, this edition in particular.
At the end of the day, you've come up with 200 programs in all. I'm going to ask you to be very disciplined and curate key highlights that you wish to share with festival goers, maybe 2 or 3.
Oh, so tough. You're asking me to pick a favorite child from 200, but I'll try. I think the festival's opening commission is very special. It's called If We Paused in Mid-Thought. I also should add that the festival theme, the word if, is inspired by one of my personal favorite poems called If Ever by Cyril Wong. And so one of the lines in the poem is, if we paused in mid-thought, only to arrive at the same place together. So the festival's opening commission is called If We Paused in Mid-Thought, and one of the rooms in the arts house is being converted into an immersive poetry audiovisual experience in which festival goers can come into the room and transform the space based on words that they input. So the room keeps being interjected with different people's experiences. We're also inviting a global community of writers to kind of intervene in the space. So 25 of our festival authors will be coming in for 25 minutes at different slots. and doing audience-led sessions, which will transform the space. And by the end of the festival, the space will be a completely different space that it started off being. And it culminates in a poetry reading that's called Only to Arrive in the Same Place Together. So the entire commission is a real journey from start to end of the festival, and it depends on festival goers and writers to transform it. So I think that's going to be really special, and each time you experience the space, it's going to be different. So that's something I would highlight. I think I would also like to highlight our literary pioneers this year. We're celebrating pioneering female voices in the Malay literary scene. In our sort of research and conversations with our advisors, we realized that these women hadn't had a lot of research done about them. So it's been quite a struggle, even kind of looking for resources about their work. But we're very, very proud to highlight these voices that range from 19th century till present day voices. So it's a real chronological journey of very fierce female voices in the Malay literary scene. And I think such a monumental part of our culture that I really encourage everyone to come and experience that as well. So those are two. And then I guess if I could throw in one more, it would be the Youth Fringe, which is aimed at festival audiences age 13 to 18.
Yeah.
Some of those programs are curated by teenagers themselves.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really fun as well.
It sounds like it. Now, you're an author. You're also the organizer. From your experience, where do you see the future of Singapore literature heading next?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a big question. But I also think the idea of legacy is such a big question that this year's festival theme asks. And I do think that the future of Singlit lies in the community that we've built over the years of this festival. That began in 1986, really, as a Singapore Writers' Week. So it was a ground-led initiative by a bunch of writers. And look where it's led us. So I really think that the future of Singlit lies in the community that the festival is building. Yeah.
Very nice speaking with you, Pooja Nansi, Festival Director of the Singapore Writers' Festival. Thanks for your thoughts. Now, that event runs from the 4th to the 20th of November.